That's good to go. Go and record it. Okay, then we go get the URL and stick it on our share email. Okay, we're good to go. Almost ready to start. Super cool. And one more place to put this URL. So if you're not on the list yet, you can go to our Miracles, Magic, and Coffee show link. I will find it and put it in the description. Let's see. Actually, I'll just find it like this. Here, how we go. Okay, so I've got that. I'll send that out. It's ralphhavens.com/miracles, magic, and coffee. And the and is the little symbol of and. ralphhavens.com/miracles, magic, and coffee. If you want to show anybody else this stuff. And we're live. So today, Baden and Jen are over there. We'll see if they pop up in a little bit. They're with us no matter what. I think here they come. Baden, you coming over? You coming over, man? So Baden and I were just dancing around to a Donovan Frankenreiter song. You can find it on my Facebook profile. I just put it as my last post. And it's called Love, Life, and Laughter. Life, Love, and Laughter, or Love, Life, and Laughter. And so today is a very special Miracles, Magic, and Coffee because we had no idea what we were going to do. And we're taking a few weeks to give our friend Tom Giammatteo, Dr. Tom Giammatteo, naturopathic and chiropractic physician and integrated manual therapist, developer and healer, and giving him a few weeks off because of some stuff that's going on over there. And so send him some positive thoughts and vibes. And what came to me today was really cool. So there's it's kind of funny, like this YouTube thing that goes across the airwaves, and maybe you're watching it on a handheld device that's wireless, and it's going across the world instantly, and everybody can join and be on it at the same time. And this technology, I don't know how it works. Do you know how it works? I mean, you know how to use it, like push this button, push this button, push this button. But do you know how it works? Do you know how it works? I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast this last week, and if you haven't heard his podcast, they're amazing. But he had this Navy commander, jet fighter pilot guy who was talking, and he was talking about when they were doing some exercises off the coast of San Diego in Mexico in the Pacific Ocean, and they didn't realize that the Marines, who were also doing exercises out there and they were going to be doing them jointly, they had been out there for a couple of weeks and they had been tracking these UFOs. And they have a different acronym for them now in the military, but they were tracking these unidentified objects that were doing really weird stuff, very fast stuff that our jets and our spaceships and stuff can't do. And they've been tracking them for 2 weeks, but they didn't tell this Navy commander and his squadron. And so then they go out there and they start seeing stuff on their infrared cameras and on their black and white TV monitors, and visually they could see these things. And the way he describes it was this thing, how like if you're in a very still ocean or watching a very still ocean, there's no waves, but there's a rock partially submerged under the water, and so you can see the ripples. You can see like little waves and stuff going over. As these waves come in, when they hit land, they start to like churn, and so you see little churning. If there's a rock that's submerged under the water, you see a little churning. And so from up high, him and his other pilots that were up there looked down and they saw this little churning stuff going on. And they're like, oh, what's that? Because they had been called out that there was a real world vector, which means that there was a real person, real problem, real thing. And they didn't know were they going to go meet somebody in trouble, or meet somebody that was an enemy. They didn't know. So, but they were heading out. There's Baden. Hey, dude. Good friend of mine. And they and so they saw this churning. And so they went down. One guy stayed up. He said, I'll stay up and kind of hang out up here. You go down and take a look. And he went down and took a look. And it was this thing that looked like an airplane, you know, like a cross. And it was partially submerged, and it was going back and forth, and then forwards and backwards. And so he came down to look farther, and it popped up out of the water, and then it went way up, like 20,000 feet or so, from what I remember. And then it came up, and the Marines had been tracking these things, and they'd been going from 80,000 feet, which is up in outer space level, to 20,000 feet really fast. And so this thing was up around 20,000 feet, and then it came down lower, and then he was tracking it, and they started to go around each other like a circle. And so the quickest way to cut that game off is to cut the diameter in half. And so he started to shoot straight across to go see what is this thing. And in an instant, it did this. It was laying like this, it went like this, and then just went whoop. And in a second, it was gone. And he said, you know, even if the fastest jets that we have, the 3 Mach jets, 3 times the speed of sound jets, if they were to take off with that kind of visibility that he had, 50 miles of visibility, he would have seen it go away for a few seconds and turn into a dot. But this thing went away in a second. And he asked the people that were tracking it on the big battleship, what happened? Is it there? Where is it? What's the radar? And they're like, it's gone. It's gone. It's like totally, completely new technology that they've never seen. And they've been tracking them for years, this commander was telling us. So there's a technology that we have no idea how it works. But somebody that's flying those other ships knows how they work. And so that's kind of cool. And so today's session, we're going to use a technology that we don't know how it works. But the cool thing is, kind of like Wi-Fi or cell phones, we know how to use it. And so we have a very special person that we're using as what's called a surrogate. So we're going to do a session right now live to help this person out. And then she can report back in and let us know how it's going. And then what's cool about this technology is you can actually put somebody into the field, into your intention of like, who would you like to see have a big ship? So, and that just takes putting a mental thought like, okay, it'd be really cool if this family member that lives halfway around the world had something really good happen to their health, had something go away that's bothering them, had something life-threatening that's bothering them. Just kind of put an intention out there if you want. And then here's one of the secrets is to let it go. And by let it go, it means let's just like relax for a bit. Take a breath, let it out. And then let's see what happens, right? And so when you think that way, it might even piss you off. It might even piss you off. Or it might do something else in you. It might activate something in you. Or it might not. And so we're going to do a session. And then my hope is that you will share these sessions. Because if you have a family member or somebody around the world that's dealing with a chronic thing, this could be worth a try. You don't have to, but wouldn't it be cool if something big happened really fast, even if you didn't even know how it happened? So that's my intention for today, and the exchange with you is, if you like it, if you think it might be useful, if you think it's worth a try, you can actually share this video. And it takes a click of a button. And so we're going to go straight to our friend, someone very close to us. And we're going to click a button now. So, I don't know, maybe the session's over, huh? So if something were to have changed for you right now, in the chair that you're sitting in right now, if something would have changed for someone in your family or friends or someone around the world, what might you notice? And would you notice? So many people say they want to believe in magic or prayer or energy healing. But then I've seen so many times when people have something happen and we see it, like, oh my God, they're so different. They're so different. It's like, look at all that healing that just happened. Isn't that amazing? And you ask them and they're like, oh no, that wasn't that. I just got a new boss. That's why I don't hate my job anymore. Or no, it wasn't that. I was also, I did something different with my food. Or no, it wasn't that. It couldn't have been that. It's just that all the work I've been doing with this one doctor is finally paying off, I guess. I guess that drug finally started working, huh? Something happens that's really cool when you notice a miracle. Whoa, you okay? All right, everybody. I don't know if Jen has anything else to say. I'm going to go get my tea for a minute. Let's see if we do anything else. I guess that's it. I have a secret. I actually do the session ahead of time. It's something I learned from Richard Bartlett years ago, and it's made all the difference in the world. And you can think, how can that happen? How can that work? So there's some things that we just don't understand with our heads, but if we were to notice a difference and didn't need to understand, what might we notice? So I guess this is a very short Miracles, Magic, Healing, and More, but feels really big, feels really complete to me. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've noticed anything that's different in your world. Like when you get up, do you walk differently? Does the world look differently? Do you move differently? Is somebody treating you differently? Do you get an epiphany? So I guess that's it.
I like the thing you've been working with lately, really noticing that in the space, we need both of us.
In the space? Oh well.
In the spaces where God shows up.
That's right. In the spaces where God shows up. That's what we believe. So it's okay to sit in silence. All right, everybody. Anything else, Baden? It's all about cars. Abundance of cars. Okay. We'll see you all later.